Hi there, today we're going to create an image classification model using CustomVision.ai. In particular, we're going to create one that can discern between Christmas trees and regular trees, and then we're going to consume it inside Postman and a website. So let's get to it, shall we? Okay, so if you head on over to CustomVision.ai, you'll see a website that looks a bit like this. Now, once you've signed in, it'll look a bit like this. You won't have any projects yet, so let's go ahead and create one. I'm going to call it IsChristmasTree. So as you can see, I've done this before a few times. And then for the resource, that's effectively my Visual Studio subscription in Azure. I'm going to have the project typed as classification, the classification type as single tag per image, and then the domain, because I've used it before and I know it works for what I want to happen, we're going to use general compact S1. It's also got the added benefit of it saying that is a good one to use if you want to then deploy your model along with a mobile app. Okay, and then I'm going to leave export capabilities as the default. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create project. Then I'm going to upload my images. Now I have 20 images of regular trees of all shapes and sizes. A few of them are like fair trees that look a bit like a Christmas tree but without the lights. So we're not going to call them Christmas trees in this case. So then I'm going to add a tag and call that regular tree. If I can spell it, upload those. Then I am going to add the Christmas trees that look a bit like this. Again, various shapes and sizes, different decorations. That one's even got a cat in it. Hit OK, upload, and we'll tag that with Christmas tree. Upload those. Done. Okay, and you can see the different images in each of those sets. I've also got a testing set that with images that weren't in the training set. Some of these images are a bit odd, so we're going to see if we can trick the model a bit later. So we're going to go ahead and hit train, and I'm going to choose quick training for our uses, just in case. Let's pretend there's like an image classification Christmas tree emergency, and I need to train this model quick. So then here we go. I am going to set off that training. It can take a few minutes, so I'm probably just going to go make a cup of coffee if that's all right, but I'll be back in a minute. And I'm back. Right, so that seems to have worked. The model's been created. All these things look good and happy. It is saying that perhaps I should be using more than 20 images it's recommending I should use about 50 images, but I kind of think this is going to work, so let's crack on. Right, so the first thing I need to do is check that it works. So let's try some test images. Let's start off simple. That's obviously a Christmas tree. It's telling me it's 95-ish% sure that's Christmas tree. That's a good start. Let's try something else. This one is a bit of an unusual Christmas tree, but it is saying it's 94-ish% sure it's Christmas tree. So good so far, or the other way around. This one, definitely not a Christmas tree. And it's sure, yep, it's saying that's 93% sure that's a regular tree. Let's try something a bit more difficult. This looks like a Christmas tree, but it's not decorated, but it's saying this is definitely a regular tree. I'm happy with that. Okay, let's start making things more difficult. Here is a tree rat in toilet roll. Yes, it is a Christmas tree. 97% sure it's still a Christmas tree, even though it is wrapped in toilet roll by the naughty elves, which will be paying me a visit this year, I imagine. Then we've got a very unusual tree in a very messy teenager's room with a quite obvious surfboard underneath there. But it is saying it's 82% sure it's a Christmas tree. So again, going well. Let's change gear a bit, shall we? Here's someone wearing a Christmas tree top. I still would count that as a Christmas tree. And the model is saying, yeah, it's 56% sure that's a Christmas tree. You definitely won't want to put your presents under there, but it is a Christmas tree. Then we have got one that's upside down. Again, even though it's upside down, 99% sure it's Christmas tree. Let's try this one, Godzilla tree. It's saying, yep, 95% sure that that's Christmas tree. I still count that as Christmas tree. So this is good. This is good. What about this humongous Christmas tree? 64% sure that's Christmas tree. So this model is pretty accurate. It's only had 20 images from each set to check. So I'm quite happy with that. One last one, Christmas tree monster. Yep, 94% sure it's Christmas tree. So that's great. I now need to be able to consume that endpoint. Now I've created it. First thing I need to do is hit publish. So I'll hit that. Again, going to choose my Visual Studio subscription. That's going to give me a public endpoint URL. Let's grab that. Oh, I don't want that one because I've not given it an image URL. I'm going to actually send it a file. So I'm going to grab this URL. I'm going to open up Postman. I'm going to create a new request. Let's make it a post. Otherwise it'd be getman, wouldn't it? Then let's put in the URL. I need to give it a couple of keys, which you'll have seen just then. Nope, don't want that one. Go away. So I need to give it the header prediction key, which is this. I guess I'll just type prediction key, call it that. And then I think the other one was called content type. And that was something like application, blah, blah, blah. Go away, don't want you. This one here, application octet stream. There we go. So let's type that in there. Next, I need to actually give it the file that I'm going to send it. Let's choose binary. Let's say it's a file. Let's go to test. Let's give it one we've not tested yet. This one, I'd still count this as a Christmas tree personally. So let's send it and see what the endpoint thinks. Now these come back in order of the most certain it is of an item. So sometimes it'll be Christmas tree first, sometimes it'll be regular tree. You have to remember that for later. So that's 95% sure that that's a Christmas tree. That's fine. That seems to be working to me. Now let's go plug that into a website. Now I've got one that I created earlier running locally, which you will marvel at the design, I'm sure. But if I type in the URL that I'm sending to here, let's go grab the prediction key, which I had a minute ago. Put that in there. Now I'm going to run this locally. How, you may ask, because this is a static HTML file. Well, I've got a extension in Visual Studio Code, which is really good. It's called Live Server. So I recommend you get this. So what you can do once you've got Live Server installed, you can just hit this Go Live button in the bottom right here, and it will start up the server locally. And this is my excellent example of design. And I'll make this live at IsChristmasTree.com shortly, and I'll put the code on GitHub. But I can choose a file, give it an image, and let's give one that we've not done before. And it should say it's a regular tree, and it's 92% sure that it's a regular tree. Let's try that for a few more. This one looks fairly dead, that tree. Yep, it's 96% sure it's a regular tree. And I'll just walk you through the code really quickly, but you can check this out on GitHub. It gets the prediction names. It's either going to be is Christmas tree or is regular tree, depending on which one it is strongest in its predictions. And then I get in the probability, and I'm saying if it's more than 50% sure it's Christmas tree, then show the Christmas tree panel and say what the prediction is. Else say what the is regular tree panel. It's pretty simple, and then the code appears just chunking the image that I'm clicking the browse button for and sending that to the endpoint using Ajax. So there you go. That is Christmas tree, and you'll see that very shortly at IsChristmasTree.com. So thanks ever so much for watching this video. I'm also on Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn if you want to follow me or reach out. I'm at Lee Englestone at all those places. And if you want to consider a move in the new year, go check out careers.avanade.com, and maybe you can come work with me. It's a really nice place to come work, I promise. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good Christmas.